Imagine the fading glow of a summer sunset over a bustling neighborhood park in Cleveland, Ohio, where laughter echoes from swings and the air hums with innocent excitement. It's August 24, 1951, a perfect evening in post-war America, families picnicking on the grass, children darting between legs under string lights just flickering to life. Halloran Park on West 117th Street teems with over 1,000 souls gathered for the show again, a free traveling spectacle of singers, dancers, magicians, and jugglers sponsored by the Cleveland Press. In the crowd stands 10-year-old Beverly Rose Potts, her strawberry blonde bob haircut bouncing as she claps along, blue eyes wide with wonder. She's just a quarter mile from her modest home on Linnet Avenue, where her stagehand father Robert and homemaker mother Elizabeth wait for her triumphant return. But as the show winds down around 9 p.m. and twilight bleeds into shadow, Beverly steps away from the stage, toward home, toward safety. She never arrives. In those fateful minutes, amid the dispersing throng, Cleveland's innocence shatters forever, swallowed by a darkness that no searchlight can pierce. Beverly was the picture of a cherished 1950s child, born April 15, 1941, 2 months premature, her fragile pink skin earning her the nickname Rosebud from a mother who cradled her through those early incubator days. Tall for her age at 4'11" and 90 pounds, she moved with a distinctive duck-like gait, toes turned out, her short bob with bangs framing wide-set blue eyes and a shy smile revealing gaps between her teeth. Silver fillings gleamed on her molars, a vaccination scar marked her upper left arm, a tiny cut scarred her left eyebrow, and a kidney-shaped birthmark 1 inch long adorned her right instep. Quiet, obedient, a student bound for 5th grade at Louis Agassiz Elementary, Beverly adored dolls, dancing, and music, often babysitting neighborhood kids for pocket change. She lived in a stable, middle-class home her father bought in 1927 with older sister Anita, 22 and devoted. No troubles shadowed her world. She obeyed curfews strictly, grounded just days earlier for lingering too long with cousin Amber Lathan. Strangers terrified her, especially men. She'd flee at their approach, warned relentlessly by parents never to speak to unknowns. Yet that night something, or someone, breached her ironclad caution. The day unfolded ordinarily. After supper, Beverly begged to attend the show again with neighbor Patsy Swing, the girl next door. Their mothers relented, Patsy home by dark, Beverly until the end. Around 7 p.m. the girls biked the 3-minute route to the park, locked bikes at the field and plunged into the crowd. Magicians mesmerized, singers crooned, pure magic under the fading sun. By 8:30 they returned home briefly on foot for easier navigation, then hurried back. Around 8:45 p.m. Patsy urged leaving. Beverly, enchanted, insisted on staying till 9:15. "See you later," Patsy called, vanishing into twilight. Last confirmed sighting, Patsy glancing back, Beverly near the stage, alone but safe in the swarm. By 9:30, worry gnawed the Potts home. Robert searched streets, calling her name into the dusk, returning empty-handed at 10:30. Elizabeth paced. Anita joined the hunt. Neighbors checked, no Beverly. Police arrived near midnight, after 3 frantic calls, searching the house fruitlessly. Dawn broke on August 25 with all 3 Cleveland dailies screaming her face from front pages. Girl, 10, missing from park. The Cleveland Press editorial blared. Find Beverly. Rewards swelled. Tips flooded at 1,500 daily. Cleveland mobilized its largest missing child hunt ever, thousands of volunteers, hundreds of city workers scouring parks, ravines, culverts, lovers' lanes in Parma Heights. Police dogs sniffed her scent to West 117th and lost it. Divers dragged Big Creek, Boy Scouts combed woods. No bike disturbed. No clothing. No scream heard in the crowd. Eyewitness whispers chilled spines. A 13-year-old boy saw a girl matching Beverly, bobbed hair, gait, crossing diagonally toward Linnet around 9 p.m. Others spotted a similar child near a battered black 1937 Dodge Coupe on West 117th, smoking muffler rattling, crude paint flaking, fenders fresh repaired. 2 young men inside. The girl talked briefly, perhaps lured. Times varied. 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. No one saw entry. A woman reported a girl accepting a babysitting offer from a couple nearby. Contradictions mounted, Park Ludo's thrusting hips at girls untraced. No force evident, her shyness screamed acquaintance. Sexual motive loomed. 3 months prior, 5-year-old Gail Ann Mitchell snatched from a Lakewood store. Investigators eyed locals first. William Ross Slates, 25, unemployed ex-soldier 2 blocks away on West 116th. Dishonorably discharged 1948 for sexual misconduct. Arrested 1949 for propositioning an 8-year-old, probation active. Polygraph screamed deception, he failed questions on Beverly. But girlfriend's shaky alibi, making out in a car, freed him. No evidence linked. Hoaxes tormented. October ransom demand for $25,000 fake. November call to Patsy's dad Lester Swing. I hit her with my car. Bring Patsy dressed like Beverly downtown, I'll reveal all. Trap sprung empty. Reporters camped at Potts' door, hounding a family unraveling. Emotional wreckage deepened. Elizabeth drank, hollow-eyed, dying 1956 at 55, heart shattered. Robert lingered till 1970, haunted. Anita searched till cancer claimed her 2006 at 77. Cleveland fractured, parents whispered Beverly as stranger danger mantra, locking doors in idyllic suburbs. Police Chief Frank Dale vowed homicide, no body but certainty. Mistakes stung. Delayed response, media frenzy tainting tips, runaway assumption squandered woods dives. Browserless era hid no digital trails. 1951 forensics primitive, no DNA, fuzzy photos. Theories clashed. Local predator she trusted, babysitting bait, errand ploy, car ride home. Not stranger, she'd bolt. Cars multiplied in witness haze, dodge others. Shawinigan crowd dispersed too late, park abductees before. Clues unsettled, her bike untouched, path clear, no struggle. As leaves turned, searches waned but dread rooted. Cleveland's first media-saturated child vanishing etched folklore, twilight of innocence, James Battle's tome later chronicled. Yet shadows hid the taker. Decades beckoned more phantoms. 1955. Drifter Harvey Rush confessed from L.A., lured with candy, assaulted, buried Rocky River. Recanted for free ride home, details wrong. Leads like ghosts, molester admitting local grabs, no charges. Carnival killer William Redmond boasting 3 more victims, silent on Beverly. Hoax letters taunted. A woman's furnace body revenge fantasy. 1994 carpet notes under floorboards. 2000 plain dealer confessions promising Halloran surrender 50th anniversary, reneged for nursing home. Polygraphs passed, alibis ironclad, no bones. By 2025, 74 years cold, Cleveland police lists her endangered missing, foul play certain. Detective Bob Wolf eyed neighbors. Shy girl doesn't wander, someone known took her near park. No body unearthed despite digs. Emotional abyss lingers, family graves silent, Sister Anita's pleas dust. What pierced Beverly's terror of strangers that dusky walk? Did eyes from Linnet Avenue watch her pedal away, plotting in plain sight? The park's ghosts wait, laughter silenced, for truth to claw from the earth. As weeks bled into months, the fervor of Cleveland's massive search began to wane, but the agony for the Potts family only deepened. Rewards climbed to $25,000, an astronomical sum in 1951, yet tips dwindled from thousands to trickles, most proving fruitless. Police Chief Frank Story declared it homicide by early September, convinced Beverly had met foul play, yet no body surfaced despite draining ponds, excavating fields, and combing every ravine within miles. The lack of evidence gnawed at investigators. No screams reported amid the dispersing crowd, no discarded clothing, no signs of a struggle on her short path home. How could a child vanish so completely in a familiar neighborhood teeming with eyes? Early mistakes haunted the probe. Initial delays in police response, 3 calls before officers arrived midnight, allowed precious hours to slip. The runaway theory lingered too long, diverting resources from immediate abduction protocols. Primitive forensics offered little. No fingerprints viable on potential scenes, no bloodhounds holding scent beyond the park's edge. Eyewitness accounts clashed wildly, times of sightings varied by hours, car descriptions morphed from black sedans to battered Dodges. One boy claimed seeing Beverly speaking to occupants of a crude painted coupe. Another swore a girl her build accepted a ride from a couple offering babysitting work. But traces evaporated. Lewd men spotted thrusting obscenely at girls in the park vanished untraced. Suspects emerged, then dissolved. William Ross Slate's 25 living mere blocks away topped the list early. Dishonorably discharged for sexual misconduct, on probation for propositioning an 8-year-old, he failed polygraphs miserably when questioned about Beverly. His alibi, a tryst with his girlfriend, crumbled under scrutiny, yet no physical link tied him. Cleared for lack of evidence, he faded into obscurity. Hoaxes compounded the torment. In October, an anonymous caller demanded $25,000 ransom, bargaining down to $5,000 before a planned drop, revealed as extortion by a debtor with no connection. November brought a chilling call to Patsy's father, a man claiming he'd struck Beverly accidentally with his car, promising her location if Patsy arrived dressed identically downtown. Police staged the trap. No one appeared. Emotional devastation consumed the Potts' home. Elizabeth withdrew, her health crumbling under grief's relentless weight. Robert searched obsessively, posters of Beverly's gap-toothed smile papering the walls like silent accusations. Anita, the elder sister, clung to hope amid the chaos. Reporters besieged their doorstep for weeks, flashbulbs capturing hollow eyes, turning private hell public spectacle. Prank calls mocked their pain. False sightings dashed fragile optimism. The neighborhood, once idyllic, grew paranoid, parents escorting children everywhere, whispering Beverly's name as cautionary tale. Cleveland's post-war innocence cracked, stranger danger etched into collective psyche. Years crept forward, yielding phantom leads. In 1955, Harvey Lee Rush, a drifter and former local, confessed from Los Angeles jail, lured her with candy, assaulted, buried near Rocky River. Extradited amid fanfare, he recanted swiftly, fabricated for a free trip home. Details mismatched grotesquely, wrong age, hair, timing. Elizabeth's heart couldn't endure. She passed in 1956, aged 55, broken beyond repair. Robert soldiered on, remarrying quietly, dying in 1970, still searching. Theories proliferated, clashing in shadows. Sexual predation dominated, Beverly's shyness suggesting someone familiar, perhaps offering a ride or errand she trusted. A woman accomplice, possible since warnings focused on men. Hit-and-run cover-up. The hoax call fueled it, but no evidence. Local buried in backyard or basement. Renovations decades later unearthed oddities like 1994 notes under carpet alleging dismemberment in a furnace, penned by an elderly woman as revenge fantasy against her abusive husband. Hoax again. By the 1980s, retired detectives pursued whispers. A 1974 tip, a brother's confession to molesting girls near the park, flashes of a Beverly. The suspect admitted habits matching, lived nearby in 1951, but prosecutors deemed evidence insufficient, no charges. Then William Henry Redmond, carnival worker indicted for 1951 murder of 8-year-old Jane Althoff in Pennsylvania. Cellmate boasts of 3 more victims, Ohio ties, age discrepancies aside. Questioned in 1988, terminally ill, he stonewalled on Beverly, neither admit nor deny. No link proven, he died 1992 untried for her. The millennium brought cruelest tease. In 2000, anonymous letters to the plain dealer, an elderly man dying confessing abduction, assault, murder. Promised surrender at Halloran Park on the 50th anniversary, August 24, 2001. Excitement surged, media swarmed. A final missive arrived, nursing home bound, unable. He never appeared. Handwriting matched across letters, author likely infirm elder, perhaps retired cop recycling old hoaxes. Authenticity debated fiercely, but no identity uncovered. Anita carried the torch longest, searching till cancer claimed her in 2006. Cleveland never forgot documentaries, books like James Battle's Twilight of Innocence immortalizing the heartbreak. Police list her endangered missing, foul play certain, $15,000 reward active into 2025. Files yellowed but open, tips still urged. 74 years on, Halloran Park stands quiet, renamed for a Pearl Harbor hero, laughter of children echoing where shadows swallowed one forever. No remains unearthed despite digs. No confession stuck. Theories endure. Trusted local luring her steps from safety, body hidden close, secret guarded by time or death. The dread lingers, heavier with decades. A shy girl, terrified of strangers, breached only by familiarity, or deception too clever for a child's caution. Cleveland's twilight of innocence persists, a wound unhealed. What darkness waited on that short walk home, patient in the gathering dusk? And if someone you trusted offered a hand that night, would you have taken it too? The decades etched deeper scars into Cleveland's memory, turning Beverly Potts from a missing child into a spectral legend whispered in backyards and bars. By the 1960s, the massive searches had faded, but the family's torment endured like an open wound. Elizabeth Potts, her once vibrant face now gaunt from sleepless nights and shattered hopes, slipped away in March 1956 at age 55. Doctors called it heart failure, but those close knew grief had hollowed her out, stealing breath by breath. Robert remarried quietly, clinging to routines in the Linnet Avenue house where Beverly's doll sat untouched on a shelf. But he too succumbed in February 1970, eyes distant to the end, as if scanning twilight streets for his rosebud. Anita, the devoted older sister, became the unbroken thread. At 22, when Beverly vanished, she left Cleveland soon after, joining the U.S. Foreign Service and serving in Ethiopia, channeling pain into purpose. Yet she returned only once, haunted by the park's shadows, searching until cancer felled her in August 2006 at 77. In her final years, Anita granted interviews to filmmakers and authors, her voice steady but laced with quiet fury. "Someone knows. They took my sister, but they can't hide forever." Her niece, Meg Roberts, carried the echo, attending screenings in Cleveland, ensuring Beverly's gap-toothed smile lingered in hearts too young to remember 1951. Investigative missteps compounded the tragedy. The midnight police arrival wasted golden hours. Media saturation, Cleveland press headlines blaring "Find Beverly," tainted witnesses with suggestion. Polygraphs, crude even then, cleared shaky alibis like William Ross Slate's, whose girlfriend's making-out story rang hollow against his failed tests and flight to Columbus. Divers dragged Big Creek too late, after rain's mudded scents for dogs. No Amber Alert era meant no rapid lockdowns. The Shawinigan crowd dispersed unchecked, lewd lurkers melting away. Detectives fixated on ransom hoaxes, ignoring subtler neighborhood pulses where predators hid behind smiles. Theories fractured further, each a dagger of contradiction. Sexual assault screamed from the void, Beverly's terror of men implying a trusted face. Neighbor, babysitting caller, family acquaintance offering just a short ride. Cars haunted accounts, a flaky black Dodge with young men, a couple's sedan, yet plates led nowhere amid fuzzy timelines. Hit and run buried in woods. The 1951 Patsy Sting call hinted cover-up, but vanished like smoke. Carnival drifter. William Henry Redmond, Ferris wheel operator with a trail of bludgeoned girls like 8-year-old Jane Althoff in 1951 Pennsylvania, boasted of 3 more kills in prison chatter. Questioned terminally ill in 1988, he stonewalled on Beverly, his method, dumped bodies clashing with her traceless void. Polygraph passed on another case. Ohio proximity tantalized, but no alibi breach, no prints. Harvey Lee Rush's 1955 Candy Lure confession from L.A. jail crumbled on details, wrong year, recanted for hometown ride. Deeper phantoms clawed forth. Early 1973 tip. Woman's whisper of Beverly's body in a West 52nd auto shop grease pit. Excavators dug deep, nothing but oil-stained dirt. 1980 bombshell from retired detectives James Fewest and Robert Shankland. 1974 letter from an attorney whose client fingered his brother, a Linnet area molester of park girls. The man admitted flashes of a Beverly lived blocks away in 1951, but hazy memory, no corpus delicti. Prosecutors balked. Insufficient evidence, no charges. echoed Slate's clearance, fueling rage over 1950s leniency toward predators. February 1994 unearthed yellowed fury. Renovators on Midville Avenue pried up stairs carpet, finding notebook pages and a man's shirt beside. Anna Haynick, 83 by then, had penned in 1960. Her husband caught dumping a small girl's dismembered body in their furnace, clothes matching Beverly's blue dress. She hid the evidence, fearing abuse reprisal. Police tracked the house history, tenants shifted, furnace undug. Haynick's tale rang vengeful, a deathbed hex on her tormentor, hoax or hidden truth, bones stayed buried. Millennium twisted the knife cruelest. Summer 2000, plain dealer reporter Brent Larkin received 2 handwritten letters from a dying elder. "I molested and murdered Beverly that night," he confessed, promising Halloran Park surrender on August 24, 2001, 50th anniversary. Detective Bob Wolfe, assigned the file, grew up yards from Lynette, case woven into his childhood. Stakes soared, media swarmed. Third letter arrived, nursing home bound, unable. Handwriting consistent, author elderly, hoax taunted Wolfe, who obsessed daily. July 2002, more anonymous notes to police, dismissed as copycats. Wolfe pursued relentlessly into retirement, backyard chats with locals yielding whispers of Lynette basements, undeveloped lots where houses now stood. Ground digs, cadaver dogs, empty. James Battle's 2005 Twilight of Innocence dissected the frenzy, media's role in myth-making, urging focus on locals over drifters. 2004 documentary Dusk and Shadow amplified voices, Anita's last pleas echoing. 2015 Crime Stoppers call hinted new info, caller urged recall, vanished. Podcasts revived it. 2025 Cold Case Spotlight pondered, whereas Beverly Potts, Halloran Park, renamed for a Pearl Harbor hero, hosts picnics now, swings creaking where string lights once glowed. Children laugh, unaware dusk holds teeth. Cleveland Police Cold Case Unit lists her MP 4021, Nama's endangered missing, $15,000 reward dusk gathering. Detective Wolfe, retired, Fields tip still, 216-621-1234. No DNA without remains, 1951 forensics fossils. As of December 21, 2025, 74 years cold, foul play etched certain. Beverly's bike rusted, forgotten, her duck walk silhouette haunts West Side dreams. Theories collide eternally. Redmond's carnival shadow too violent, Slate's too sloppy, molester brother too vague. Furnace ash. Basement concrete. Or woods eternal, shallow and waiting. A shy girl's caution pierced only by the devil next door, lured by feigned kindness, silenced forever. Cleveland's twilight innocence died with her, a scar on suburbia's smile. No closure, only questions festering like untreated wounds. What if the hand that beckoned Beverly from the crowd that night belonged to someone still watching from a Lynette window, grave untroubled, secret safe in silence? And in your own twilight walk home, through familiar streets, whose shadow would you never see coming? As December 21, 2025, casts its cold light over Cleveland, the vanishing of Beverly Potts remains etched into the city's soul like a scar that refuses to fade. 74 years have passed since that warm August evening in Halloran Park, yet the case file sits open in the Cleveland Police Cold Case Unit, labeled MP 4021, endangered missing, presumed foul play. A $15,000 reward still hangs untouched, a silent plea for the one piece of truth that could finally close the circle. No body has ever been recovered. No arrest has ever been made. No confession has ever held. The neighborhood has changed beyond recognition. Lynette Avenue's modest bungalows have been remodeled, sold, and remodeled again. Halloran Park, renamed long ago in honor of a Pearl Harbor hero, still hosts little league games and summer picnics, the same grassy field where the Shawinigan once dazzled 1,000 onlookers. Children swing high under the same kind of string lights that flickered on that final night, their laughter drifting across the same quarter-mile stretch Beverly was supposed to walk home. Parents watch closer now, hands gripping tighter when dusk falls. Her name is no longer spoken aloud as often, but every Cleveland parent who grew up on the West Side knows the story. It is the cautionary ghost that lingers at the edge of every childhood memory. Detective Bob Wolfe, the last investigator to live and breathe the case daily, retired years ago, yet still answers the occasional tip-line call from his home near the old neighborhood. In quiet moments, he admits the weight never lifts. He grew up playing in those streets, riding bikes past the Potts house, hearing whispers of the girl who simply disappeared. He has chased every shadow, the carnival killer who wouldn't talk, the anonymous letters promising revelation and delivering only cruelty, the basement rumors and backyard digs that turned up nothing but broken concrete and old toys. Each dead end carved deeper into him. Someone out there carried this secret to their grave, he has said in interviews. Or someone still carries it. Theories have hardened into near certainties for many who have studied the case longest. Beverly's profound fear of strangers makes a random snatch by an unknown predator improbable. She would have screamed. She would have run. She would have fought with every ounce of her 90 pounds. Most seasoned investigators lean toward a person she recognized, someone local, someone who knew her routine, who could offer a plausible reason to pause on that short walk home. A neighbor asking for help carrying something, an acquaintance mentioning her parents needed her quickly, a familiar face offering a ride the final block as darkness gathered, a few quiet words, a trusting step toward a waiting car, and then silence forever. The absence of remains points to careful concealment close by. In 1951, backyards were larger, vacant lots more common, construction sites unchecked. Bodies could be hidden in places since paved over, built upon, forgotten. Or perhaps disposed in the industrial furnaces that dotted the city then, ash scattered before suspicion could form. The 1960 notebook pages found decades later, Anna Hanick's vengeful tale of a dismembered girl burned in a Midville Avenue furnace, may have been fantasy born of hatred, but it echoed a method that would have left nothing for searchers to find. Technology has offered teasing glimpses without deliverance. Age progression images of what Beverly might look like today, at 84 years old, have circulated quietly, more for public awareness than genuine hope. NAMA's databases hold her dental records, the description of her kidney-shaped birthmark, the vaccination scar on her arm, waiting for a match that never comes. Modern forensics could unlock everything from a single bone fragment, yet the ground has stayed mute. The emotional aftermath ripples outward still. Meg Roberts, Anita's niece and the last direct family link, has spoken of carrying a grief that isn't even fully hers, borrowed from a grandmother who died broken, a great-uncle who searched until his last breath, an aunt who crossed oceans but could never outrun the loss. Documentaries and podcasts keep the flame alive, drawing new eyes to old evidence, prompting the occasional anonymous call that raises hearts before dashing them again. Cleveland itself bears the wound. The case marked the moment the city's post-war dream of safe streets and innocent summers cracked irreparably. It predated the national Amber Alert era, the milk carton campaigns, the stranger danger drills, but it birthed them locally. Parents who once sent children out to play until the streetlights came on began counting minutes. Trust eroded. Shadows lengthened. And so the questions endure, heavier with every passing year. Who was waiting in the twilight that Beverly trusted enough to stop for? Who looked into those wide blue eyes, saw the gap-toothed smile and still chose darkness? Who has lived among neighbors, perhaps walked past the Potts house on Linnet Avenue, perhaps even attended a vigil, carrying the weight of that single irreversible act? And the most haunting question of all, one that settles cold around the heart on quiet December nights like this. If a 10-year-old girl could vanish completely from a crowded park, steps from safety, surrounded by hundreds of eyes that saw nothing, how thin, really, is the line between the bright laughter of a summer evening and the endless dark that waits just beyond it? And when you walk home tonight, through streets you think you know, with people you think you recognize, are you certain the shadows aren't watching you the same way they once watched her?